What comes to mind when you hear the word intense? Does it give you a sense of urgency and focus and even a little bit of discomfort? Is being intense a good thing? Let's see what Tenzin Palmo, a Tibetan Buddhist nun who spent 12 years in a cave, has to say about this. Rabbits are very nice and cuddly, but they don't have much potential for breakthrough. Tigers, on the other hand, are very wild, but that pure energy, if used skillfully, is exactly what's needed on the path. All the great saints were very passionate people. It's just that they didn't dissipate their passions into negative channels. They used them as fuel to send them to enlightenment. History has many examples of those who we'd call intense. They went fully in, while most of us just seem to scratch the surface. Yoga Sutra 1.21 talks about this intensity. It says, Tivra Samveganam Asana. It can be translated as those who practice with intense focus. The result, that is concentration, is near. The concentration here is asamprajanata samadhi. I have made a separate video on asamprajanata samadhi. If you're interested in exploring that, there is a link in the description below. Sage Patanjali is talking about those who have an intense burning desire to know the truths of existence, because that will give them liberation or kaivalya. It's like life, right? When you pour your entire being into something, you will most likely go deeper and achieve the results faster. And we see that in science too. Remember Newton's second law of motion? Greater the force applied, the faster the acceleration. The same applies in spiritual practice. However, here the force is not a physical force. It is the intensity of detachment that the practice generates and a burning commitment to transcend the mind-body complex and the ego. This is just one category of practitioners. As per the description in the text, there could be total 9 categories of practitioners depending on their method as well as the intensity of their practice. Depending on the lineage or spiritual tradition that the practitioner is a part of, their personal inclinations as well as their karmic predispositions, the practitioners may be more suited or may be more inclined towards certain methods. That could be certain breathing techniques, certain meditation techniques. Maybe they will find it easier to follow the yamas and niyamas described in various traditions. Some aspirants have an inexplicable urge to do deep spiritual work, and their urgency can be attributed to a culmination of their intense practice in their previous births, due to which in this lifetime they have a natural intensity on their spiritual path. Ramana Maharshi became spiritually awakened at the age of 16, and then he completely withdrew from the world and engaged in intense self-inquiry. Tenzin Palmo was a teenager in London. When she came across books on Buddhism, she instantly realized that she is a Buddhist because the Buddhist teachings completely resonated with her thoughts and beliefs at that time. Ramakrishna would enter deep states of trance and would stay there for several days. Milarepa spent years in isolation in mountainous caves, fasting and meditating to purify his karma. These people weren't just scratching the surface, they went fully in. Would these spiritually intense people fit into the society? The short answer is no. These people would find it hard to blend into the roles and expectations of the society. maybe even the ordinary expectations of being so-called spiritual. Ramana Maharshi, after his awakening, he completely withdrew from the society. Imagine talking to him about his career goals or personal ambitions. Mirabai, she left her royal family to stay devoted fully towards Lord Krishna. Her actions were not supported by her family at the time. They thought that she was being rebellious and was bringing shame to the royal family. And here's another interesting thought. Would we even know about someone practicing intense spirituality today? Probably not. Why? Because they won't be out there talking about it. Many intense practitioners keep their practice private, either out of preference or out of necessity. Solitude often becomes the hallmark of an intense practice. In certain schools of yoga, secrecy is essential to maintain the sanctity of the teachings. Practices are considered sacred and they're shared only with those who are ready to receive these teachings. There's a quote in Hatha Yoga Pradipika that says, Hatha Yoga is the greatest secret of the yogis who wish to attain perfection, Siddhi. Indeed, to be fruitful, it must be kept secret. Revealed, it becomes powerless. That being said, not all intense spiritual practitioners keep their practices secret forever. Sometimes they are called to share them with the humanity, but only after they achieve a certain level of mastery. They may share the more accessible parts of their practice with the public while still keeping the more intense practices private. Is it good to be intense? In spiritual practice, it seems so. While these spiritually intense people may not fit into the society in a conventional sense, but their intense practice benefits countless people across the world at some or the other point. Thank you for watching this video. Please support my work by subscribing to this channel. And if this video resonated with you, please give it a like and share it with your friends and family members.